Hi everyone, in today's video I will be using some of my new favorite products to create this makeup look. Most of these products are extremely affordable and good quality. I have some newly launched products from Mars, Insights Cosmetics, Blue Heaven and the K-Beauty Blush, so let's get started. This is the Essence Prime Plus Studio Poreless Skin Blurring Putty Primer. This is a really good primer to smooth out your skin before makeup. It has a matte finish, so it does ensure long-lasting makeup to an extent. It also minimizes the appearance of pores, and I feel that this is a really good lightweight primer that you can use if you have combination or oily skin. It has a light pink tint to it, but the tint isn't visible once you apply it on your face. For concealing and cancelling pigmentation and dark circles, I will be using the Insights HD Conceal Correct Contour Palette for medium skin. I love the undertone of each shade on this palette. It's like this palette is meant for my skin tone. First of all, I will be using the orange shade to correct my dark circles and pigmentation. I'm applying the tiniest amount into my eyes and around my mouth. This shade works really well in cancelling out my dark circles and hyperpigmentation. Then I'm using the olive toned shade to conceal my dark circles. This shade is exactly my skin tone and it's a really good concealer shade for me. The shades on this palette are very creamy and blendable, so if you like using more natural finish cream products, you can opt for this palette. You can blend these with your fingers, brush or a makeup sponge. This also has a high coverage, so a little goes a long way. For foundation, I have the Blue Heaven Hyper Matte Foundation in the shade Caramel. This shade has a very olive yellow undertone. It's a really good foundation to mix with other foundations and make them more olive, but I would not use it on its own as it looks too green on my skin tone. Here I used it on its own and you can see my skin looks a bit too green. It does oxidize and turn a bit orange, so it will look okay by the end of this video, but on fresh application it looks too olive, and in reality too it looks too olive. The foundation has medium coverage, it's very lightweight, turns matte after a few minutes of application, but it's non-drying. Next, I have the K-Beauty Cream Blush in Sweetheart Pink. It's an extremely pigmented blush with a mousse-like texture. My first impression of the product was that it's way too small for what I paid, but after using it a couple of times, I can say that this is a pigment-packed formula, so you need the tiniest amount. It's very blendable and the shade I have is a neutral pink shade. I generally buy warm coral shades for blush, but this pink was a good change. You can shear down the blush with a makeup sponge, but just make sure that you're using it before setting your face. You can apply it on bare face or on top of foundation. It will not move your foundation. It has a very beautiful glowy look. It has not got any glitter or pearly particles, so it gives a very natural flush. For cream contour, I will be using the deeper shade from the Insights palette. It's very creamy and blendable. As I said, you can blend it in with your fingers, brush or a makeup sponge. It shears out and blends very easily. I applied it in the hollow of my cheekbones, forehead, jawline and along the sides of my nose, and I'm going to use a sponge to blend everything in except my nose contour. I'm going to use a brush for that. For setting my face, I will be using the Insight Cosmetics Flawless Finish Setting Powder in MNY30. This is a good compact to touch up your makeup and to set your makeup in place. The shade I have is a perfect yellow undertone for my skin tone. It's not too yellow, not too pink. It's just perfect for my skin tone. I'm going to apply this under my eyes and on my smile lines, and this powder works really well in controlling oil. For eyebrows, I will be using the Sugar Arch Rival Micro Brow Pencil in Cherry Brown. I really like that Sugar added a micro brow pencil to their arch rival range. This one has a really precise tip, so it's great for making small hair-like strokes. This gives you a very natural feathery finish and has a small spoolie on the other end. For my eyes, I will be using the Huda Beauty Wild Obsessions Python palette. This is a high-end product that I will be using because I never did a look with this palette on camera, and it has some really beautiful shades. First, I'm picking up the matte green shade on a small blending brush and pressing it on the outer corner. I'm not trying to blend it a lot because I want the boundary to be defined. After that, I will be using the gold green duochrome shade and applying it on the leftover part of my eyelid. I will be connecting this shade to the matte one. After this, I am going to use the 3D multi-reflective shade on this palette and I'm going to press it on the center of my eyelid. Then I'm taking this acid green shade and applying it on the inner corner of the lower lash line. After this, I'm going to use the brown for the rest of my lower lash line. And ultimately, I picked up the golden green metallic shade and applied it in my inner corner. For eyeliner, I will be using the Free Flow eyeliner by Mars. This has a super fine tip, so it's very easy to create a wing using this liner. I'm just making a small triangle on the outer corner of my eyes to lift my eyes a bit. For kohl, I'm using the skin colored kohl from Relove by Revolution. Applying a skin colored kohl in my waterline makes my eyes look big. And this is a really good skin colored kohl pencil to apply in your waterline. And it's affordable too. I think I got it for rupees 250 or something like that. I have two mascaras from Mars. These are their newly launched Forget Falsies mascara. I love the formula of their Fabulash mascara. It gives instant volume and lift to your lashes. The wand of these mascaras are thin, so application is really easy even for lower lashes. These also have two wand options. There is a concave shaped wand and then there is a convex shaped wand. The concave one can be used for length and volume, and the convex one can be used to separate the lashes. The formula of these mascaras is not like the Fabulash mascara. It does lift and curl your lashes to an extent, but not as good as the Fabulash mascara. I really appreciate that they made the wand manageable and gave two wand options. I like the concave one because that works better for my eye shape and lashes. You can also layer these up, but I'd say that a couple of coats is enough. For contour, I'm using the K-Beauty Contour Palette. All the powder products work really well on top of this foundation without drying out my skin. So it's a really good affordable foundation for summers if you have oily or combination skin type. For powder blush, I'm using the Swiss Beauty Professional Blusher in Glaze Bronzing. This is a really beautiful warm deep pink color. I bought it to use it as a bronzer, but it's too pink to be used as a bronzer. It's a really good blush for dusky skin tone. For setting my makeup in place, I will be using the Mars Seal the Deal setting spray. I will not be using a highlighter today because it was too hot while I was filming, and the foundation and powder did hold the makeup nicely. I was sweating a bit, so I don't want myself to look more sweaty by using a highlighter. After this, I will be lining my lips using the K-Beauty Lip Liner in Fame. For lips, we have the Mars Matte Lipstick Box. It has three lipsticks and I have it in the shade called Plum. This has got three plum shades and I will be using the shade 09 to fill in my lips. These lipsticks have a really comfortable matte finish. They are not too matte, so they will not dry out your lips. They also transfer a little bit, but they are very comfortable to wear, so that's not a problem. And in the end, I'm going to use some K-Beauty Cream Blush on the center of my lips to create an ombre effect. And that's it. This is the completed look. Hope you like it. Some of the products I used today were sent to me by brands as PR, especially from Mars. I'd say only from Mars, but I'm going to mention them in the description box along with all the products. So do check them out if you want to, and I will see you in the next video.